Hello and welcome to We Are Water, the wisdom flowing through us. We are so grateful that you're here and excited to be diving in today, learning more about water consciousness and ancient traditions around water, the power of living water, and the company products that we're partnered with to be able to spread this amazing mission of wellness around the world. You'll be learning so much about how this all works and how you can get involved and really feel if it's a fit for you. But before we dive into all of that, I would love for our co-hosts to all get to introduce ourselves.
Hey there, my name is Carly. I'm 33 years old. I'm from Ontario, Canada, and I'm so excited to share with you today how I came into this space. So it was in my early 20s when I really had a spiritual awakening, in a sense, where I just really knew there was so much more to life than what we were being told. Every decision I made sort of led me closer towards the wellness world. I went through different nutrition changes, owned my own juicing business. I knew I didn't want to go back to my 9-to-5 job. I knew that just wasn't for me anymore. It was so unfulfilling. I really believe in the law of attraction, and what you put out there is what you get back. I used my visioning, I meditated, and I just really allowed, with an open heart, something to come into my life. This water right here, this beautiful living alive water, came into my life when I was on maternity leave with my third baby. It was the perfect time for me. I was really looking for something. I have 3 kids now, so health is really a huge priority in mine and my husband's life. So I'm 6 months in and it's been nothing but pure magic. These products are truly life-changing, and I'm so excited to share with you the benefits of all these products.
My name is Shar. I'm originally from Canada, but currently traveling the world full-time with my family. I was not always a woo-woo, conscious, earthy mama. I used to be a full-time bartender, making lots of poor choices, drinking a lot, and hurting a lot of people, just not really being my highest self, feeling like life really had no meaning. I experienced a deep spiritual awakening upon being mugged about 5 years ago, which really snapped me back into the truth of how we're all deeply meant to be living in connection with each other and the earth. Through deciding that I wanted to live differently, life brought me an opportunity to partner with this wellness company, and I have never looked back. Now, having a little Scorpio water baby daughter who grew in my womb of amniotic fluid, connected to the moon and the tides, and was born into water, I feel more deeply aware than ever of the role that water plays in our lives. I've always craved the ocean, and now I get to spend my days barefoot in nature, swimming with turtles, drinking the most incredible living water, and nourishing my family through our lifestyle of freedom and connection. Because of my bravery in saying yes to an unconventional life, I've also been able to impact visionaries and families around the world to take ownership of their health and their lives.
Hi, my name's Natalie. I'm from New Zealand, but we're moving to Indonesia in 2 weeks because of this amazing business. I grew up with a very woo-woo mother, all natural medicine only, healthy organic food, beautiful clean drinking water always. I always saw myself being abundant in the future, but I didn't know how. I used to skip class, I didn't do my exams, I would run away all the time. We was just so programmed to believe that if we didn't go to university that we wouldn't make money. After school I went to Indonesia, met my husband. He was homeless at the time, lived under a tree on the beach, so we started from nothing. Got pregnant. We ended up being caught in an earthquake over there. We were stuck there with no food or water for 3 days. Escaped back to New Zealand to have our baby. My sister passing away really suddenly. Father also passing away very suddenly. Lost everything in a cyclone last year. Sort of had everything cleared from us, so the options were endless. We weren't financially prepared. However, we just knew that we wanted to move back to Indonesia. Booked our flights with the little money that we had in our savings. We just trusted that the universe would get us there somehow. No money coming in, but then I found a magic. Somehow found Shar, and my life has never been the same since.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I am a mum of 2. I'm also a yoga teacher, and my family and I embrace a low-tox lifestyle. My journey began probably about 10 years ago, looking into what are we putting on our bodies and into our bodies. My husband was diagnosed with MS within 4 months of us actually meeting. It's just been an accumulation of research. The water has literally changed our lives, and everything has really led me to this opportunity today of being able to say that I am a part of this incredible movement to impact people's lives, to give back to the people, to upgrade people's health, and to upgrade their wealth in a conscious way. And that is what is so important to me, because there are multiple ways to earn an income online these days. However, earning a conscious income just lands so differently, because it just feels good to do good. We are living our purpose, and we're leaving this beautiful planet a better place for our children. That is what it is all about for me, to be able to say that I did the best I could for the next generation.
Hi everyone, my name is Dana. I am from Ontario, Canada, and I'm a holistic nutritionist. I specialize in digestive health, and prior to having my 2 kids, I was working at a health clinic with a team of gastroenterologists, and I was also running my private practice. Before beginning maternity leave, I was feeling really burnt out from working with clients and wearing so many different hats as a business owner, and I knew that I needed a change once I was returning from maternity leave. I started exploring the idea of owning a health clinic. I was having so many doubts as a mom to 2 little kiddos. The thought of owning a traditional business felt really hard. I was mostly worried about location freedom because my business would be located in Ontario, so I wouldn't be able to be moving around and having that freedom to just be where I'd like to be. In literally the final hour of deciding if I should go ahead with the purchase of this company, I came across an opportunity that allowed me to have location freedom, and it felt right in my soul. It felt like it was the right opportunity for me. So I had to listen to my gut, and I chose to walk away from an opportunity that was more traditional and go towards the path that felt right to me in my gut.
Hello, my name is Taylor Ray. I am from Canada, and I am a wellness enthusiast, a traveler, yoga instructor, writer, and business owner. My wellness journey really began when I was about 6 years old. My mother ended up getting really sick to the point where the doctors didn't know what was wrong with her. That led my family to embark on a holistic wellness journey that not only allowed her to heal, but also changed the trajectory of my entire family's wellness story. I became obsessed with nutrition and body movements and pairing the two together for optimal health. But there was one thing that was missing. And it wasn't until I was introduced to this wellness company at the age of 21 where I realized that I was missing a really key and vital component, and that was the quality of the water that I was drinking. The one thing that makes up approximately 70% of our being that allows us to be alive, and I found that this was the missing key to that holistic wellness approach. Now, not only is my health totally supported by this water, but I get to travel often, and I get to do things like teach yoga, something I'm so passionate about. Doing that because I want to, not because I have to. I literally get to support people in integrating something so nourishing into their lives while making my dreams real and helping them do the same. Like, how does it get any better than this?
As we drop in here, I would love for you to just take a moment and take a deep breath with me. And just connect to the energy of water and how much we can learn from this incredible element. Water is flexible, water is flowing, water can also be really powerful and strong. And I think we can take a lot of inspiration from how this element flows without pressure, without force. Water just is. So I'd love for us all to be like water, be open, be flexible, be adaptable, and willing to flow together on this journey for the next hour. Just really sinking into the realization that what you're about to hear has the power to absolutely change your life if it's something that resonates with you.
Water has played one of the most significant roles in human history.
Water is energy. Water holds memory. Water is life.
From hot springs to baths to waterfall blessings, ancient civilizations really knew how important our connection to water truly is.
Which is no wonder why there are so many ancient water traditions.
For as long as humans have existed, water has been used in rituals and purification in so many different cultures all around the globe. Water blessings are one of the first recorded types of blessing. Not only were these blessings a powerful ritual, but also a powerful way to activate the water. From early on in human history, we can see that people figured out that water holds memory. And science today shows us how, by setting intentions, by speaking to water, by blessing it, actually changes the crystalline structure of the water molecules.
I was honestly blown away when I first saw evidence of this. So in the mid-90s, a man called Dr. Emoto started researching water in depth. He would source samples of water from all over the world, freeze them, and then examine their molecular structure under a microscope. What he found was that depending on where the water was sourced, if it was fresh, natural spring water, it held a beautiful crystalline structure, whereas polluted water molecules actually had a distorted structure. So he got really curious and he started examining water molecules that were exposed to different types of music, to different words, even different energies like hate or love, and he discovered that the human consciousness could actually transform the molecular structure of water.
We can actually see that the more loving, beautiful, kind words creates more cohesive and beautiful crystalline patterns.
There are so many ancient water traditions where cultures are just heavily steeped in these beautiful rituals.
Purifying, cleansing, hydrating themselves with that love or gratitude or intention.
Now, more than ever, in the world that we're living in, we need to reconnect back to nature.
It's important for our wellness and our vitality that we regain that connection once again.
I really truly believe that one of the ways that we are able to restore the balance that we are lacking in our modern day life is to actually bring this living water back into our homes and back into our life as nature intended.
We are 70% water. Water should be the number one thing we are looking into. We're absorbing it, we are drinking it. Like, it should be number one before anything else.
75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated.
Our digestive systems are one of the most important organs in our body. I would argue, especially as a digestive health professional, that our digestive system is the home of the body. It is our second brain, and when you consider the gut-brain connection and how much our gut impacts our brain and our brain then impacts our gut, it really can have a large impact on our day, on our mood, on our anxieties, on stressors, on hormone creation, and often a lot of disease and illness begins in the gut.
Pretty much any symptom that we may experience has roots related to our gut health, so it really, really matters to be able to learn more about how we can take care of our gut.
Water, as we know, is one of the most important things to give to our bodies.
Water in its natural living form in nature is alive.
It's living in the natural world, from springs to glacier rivers.
Filled with an abundance of minerals and electricity in the form of electrons.
I saw something recently that said that there is plenty of water in the universe without life, but nowhere is there life without water. Water is flowing through all living things, and without it, there is truly no life.
The way that water is flowing and moving and interacting with the world around it, bouncing off rocks, going through and underneath the ground and tree roots, and being activated by sunlight and minerals and all of these different things, creates this really alive, activated resource, this element that we are actually meant to be putting into our bodies. There are places around the world where living water actually exists in more of an abundance, and those are called blue zones.
Blue zones are places around the world with a certain environment and lifestyle where people on average live much longer than other places in the world.
The living water doesn't only exist in the couple of places that it's known. It is water in its most natural state.
We can literally see it and feel it all around us, where you go to a waterfall or a river or an ocean with the waves crashing and the water is so full of life, you feel like you're meant to be swimming in it. Living on an island, I feel this, and then I also swim in chlorinated pools, and trust me when I say I feel the difference. We still do swim in pools, but I know which one I would rather have my daughter bathing in for longer.
And that is the water that we are meant to have in our lives.
While water in nature free flows and follows its own organic pattern, this is not the case at all with tap water. It used to be a common agreement that you wouldn't create a settlement somewhere if there wasn't a fresh water source, but now this is not the case at all, because we have learned how to transport water thousands of miles into our homes. So when you turn on your tap, it is not necessarily coming from the fresh spring out in your backyard.
Our tap water is ideally supposed to be mineral filled and pure. Unfortunately, this is not the reality though. Because of our lifestyles, we do pollute the water. All of us do it, unfortunately. Some people might pour medications down the drain. The shampoo or body wash that we use might not be environmentally safe to be entering our water system. Our dishwasher detergent liquid, even the detergent that we wash our clothes with. All of these things are entering our water system. In order to purify our water, we then use harsh chemicals to cleanse all these products out. It doesn't necessarily mean that we want to be drinking these harsh chemicals that are making our water safe for consumption.
They have to put chemicals in the water systems in our cities to keep the pipes from rusting. So we've known for a while now that yes, tap water is not good for you.
For example, imagine a chlorine swimming pool. We dive in the pool, we're wearing sunscreen, we have shampoo remnants in our hair, body wash remnants on our skin. All of that is entering the chlorine pool. To make that water safe, it's purified with chlorine. So would you take a cup, dunk it into the pool and drink it? Likely not. But that is what we're doing with our tap water, because our tap is purified with chlorine. A lot of us do take a cup, put it under the tap and drink it. But it's not a whole lot different from a swimming pool.
Water has always been a massive part of my life. We used to go to a water refill station where they have lovely artesian water. I used to always tell everyone, all my friends, like, don't drink tap water, you're crazy. I wouldn't even give my plants tap water. You know, I know too much. It's like once you know, you can't unknow.
The tap water being full of chemicals is not even the only concern. Like I said, it's transported for thousands of miles at a very high pressure, and it's not free flowing in a natural curving course like living water in nature. It's being blasted at high pressure through all kinds of right angle turns in pipes. And every single time that happens, it damages the molecular structure of the water. Tap water from various places has all kinds of different molecular structures when you look under a microscope, but all of them look something like this. None of them look like beautiful, exquisite, perfect, crystalline structures.
After learning all the things that I've learned about tap water, I personally refuse to drink it unless I absolutely have to. And I also came to realize that bottled water isn't the solution either.
People are starting to awaken to the issues with tap water and realizing that we need to find a better way. And in that, families are spending an average of thousands of dollars per year on bottled water, thinking that we found a better solution, when in reality, it's actually less alive and not even that much better for our health.
I've learned that bottled water tends to just be tap water that's a little bit more chemically changed, maybe a little bit more filtered, maybe some components are added to make it taste better, and then it's bottled and shelved, and it's pretty much the same thing. Now we're putting our most vital resource into plastic bottles, which aren't really the greatest for our health either. And not only that, but then most of these plastic bottles are encased by this plastic coating that to get the shape of the bottles, they actually have to be heated. So now the chemicals from the plastic are being leached into our water, and let alone all of the waste, the plastic, the glass, the aluminum can. It's not the solution. It's nowhere near the solution.
Every single second of every day, 1,500 plastic water bottles are being thrown away. 91% of the world's plastic bottles are not recycled, and it can take up to 300 years for a plastic bottle to be fragmented, and even after that, it still never goes away. By the year 2050, it is predicted that there will be more plastic in the oceans than fish. This absolutely breaks my heart. Living on an island, I see the effects of this every single day. Our family does our best to pick up all the plastic that we can. There's no way that we will sustainably be able to keep up with all of the plastic when 8 million tons of plastic are being thrown into the world's oceans every single year. We have to actually change something and find a better solution here if we want our children to have an earth to enjoy. When I was in grade 6, I believe I was on the Eco Schools team for my school, so I did always grow up with this awareness that I wanted to make a difference in the world, and that's why I felt so aligned with partnering with this amazing company that we're about to introduce you to. I feel like it's no coincidence that Dr. Emoto, who did all of these studies on water, was from Japan, and so is this incredible wellness company that we're partnered with. Enagic is, as of 2024, a 50-year-old wellness company based out of Okinawa, Japan, founded by the incredible Mr. Oshiro, who's currently in his 80s and looks like he's 60, and has started a global revolution of true health, which he refers to as physical, mental, and economic health. While he is in his 80s, he recognizes that the world is constantly changing and has really taken advantage of how rapidly technology is advancing. In 1974, Enagic created a registered medical-grade water ionizer to be able to mimic living water found in nature and bring it into homes, hospitals, wellness centers, and beyond all over the globe.
I'm going to talk to you about the K8 machine, Enagic's flagship water ionizer.
This is my amazing K8 that I would not be without.
These machines reawaken the water through electromagnetism. It takes the water and it wakes it up, it restructures it, and it brings the hydrogen in it and reformulates it to be like natural living water.
In the 1950s, Japan was heavily affected by acid rain coming over from China. Japanese scientists searched all over for a solution for safe, clean drinking water for their people. They studied healing waters that were naturally occurring throughout the Himalayas and all over India and other places in the world, and discovered mysterious alkaline and hexagonal properties of this water. This discovery and research gave birth to what we now call Kangen water. This water was specifically created to mimic the naturally occurring healing waters found around the world.
Kangen means return to origin in Japanese, and it's not just talking about the water. Not only do these machines allow the water that moves through them to return to its most natural, living, vibrant state, but then also when we drink this water, when we hydrate our bodies and our cells with this water, it allows us to return to our most natural and pure and vital state.
These machines have plates inside which are made of platinum and titanium. So the water goes through the machine, the molecules pull apart, and they restructure.
I watched a presentation of a man who literally designs medical grade products and knows how complex the process is. His wife was really excited and brought home a K8 machine for their home, and he was incredibly skeptical of it, so he actually had his team of engineers, while she was asleep, take this machine apart to dissect it and find the faults. They could not find a single thing wrong with this product, and actually after that they all wanted one of their own, which really just represents how intricate the design of something has to be able to mimic what's happening naturally in nature and bring it into our homes.
It would be amazing if we all had this fresh mineral spring or glacier water right outside of our door, but unfortunately, the way that the world is today, we don't all have access to that. The next best thing is having this machine that mimics that natural living vital state that activates the water in such an incredible way right on your kitchen sink. Now it doesn't matter if you live on a homestead or on an island or in the middle of a city or close to a mountain spring. Regardless, you can have access to this living water.
By the time it comes out of your machine, 1 glass of this water is equivalent to 1 whole barrel of blueberries and antioxidants, which is just amazing.
I used to think that the only reason to have a water filter was just to make sure that you filtered out all the contaminants from your water. But what I've realized since starting with this company is that we are not actually just filtering water here. It's not even technically a water filter. It is a medical grade water ionizer that first off was created for hospitals and now somehow has been made accessible for people to have in our homes, which is life-changing. It truly is so much more than a filter. And Japan is actually the most difficult country in the world to obtain approval for creating medical grade products. It can take over a decade to have these products approved as being medical grade and tens of millions of dollars. So typically your average person cannot afford to have a medical device in their home, which is why it does cost more than the Brita filter water pitcher things I used to buy when I thought I just had to filter my water and didn't realize my water was actually dead. But it's because it's actually not just a water filter.
So even though it is not classed, our K machine is not classed as a filter, it is a Japanese medical grade water ionizer. However, it does have a filter within it that filters out chlorine, rust, lead and other contaminants. Filtration is only step 1. We need to ionize our water. There is another step. Ionization is step 2, because when our water goes through the filtration process, we are trying to get the water as clean as possible, but in doing so we remove a lot of the health benefits. So when we add an ionizer, what we're doing is adding those health benefits back to the water as nature intended with our K8 machine.
We used to refill our big plastic bottles. It was a bit of a mission trying to, go there a few times a week to refill everything. This water was beautiful, but it wasn't alive. So that is the difference between drinking good, clean water, mineralized, beautiful water. There is a difference between that and living water. This K8 produces gorgeous living water that will literally bring your cells to life.
13 years ago, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I was at my very first iron infusion at the hospital when I met someone who was quite a bit older than me, and their advice to me for the longevity of my health was get a really good water filter. Because of that advice, my mom went out and she sourced the best water filter she could find to help benefit me and my health. So I've actually been drinking Kangen water for the last 12 years. Once I moved out of my parents' house, my mom did offer that I take the water filter, but I didn't. I wanted her to keep it and enjoy it for herself. So I tried so many different water filters. I tried the Santevia, I tried reverse osmosis, Brita, I tried the Berkey filter, and constantly the biggest problem we kept running into is between my husband and I, we were only 2 people, but we were finishing the water tank so quickly and they were so slow to refill. With the one water filter, we constantly had to scrub this ceramic filter in order for the water to filter through. The water filtered so slowly, we were always running out of water. And I was always thinking to myself, I really wish I had my parents' Kangen filter inside my house.
Not only has it drastically helped me with some little things like improving my skin and decreasing bloating, but also I used to be someone who would experience a lot of headaches. I would have to take a bunch of antioxidants and electrolytes, put a cold cloth on my head and pass out for a couple hours. But now, being supported by this water, that rarely happens. And if it does, I just drink a couple of glasses on the onset and it's gone. It's literally magic. It's literally magic.
Specifically Kangen water and its benefits on our body is it can help enhance the growth of good gut bacteria, similar to taking a probiotic, the way the probiotics do provide us with good gut bacteria. It can help support detoxification and flush toxins out of our body, which we know is very important because the gut is the home of our health in our body. And it also helps keep us hydrated. The gut is somewhere that we need to function in a way that it is absorbing hydration. And if our gut is not functioning in an optimal way, then we're not absorbing hydration in the best possible way to keeping our bodies hydrated. So if we're drinking something like Kangen water, we are enhancing the opportunity for our body to remain hydrated.
Dis-ease within the body cannot thrive in an alkaline environment. But the problem is that we're coming out with all of these alkaline waters, and there's talk about whether alkaline water or too much alkaline water is actually any good for us, or if it actually potentially damages our bodies. And the answer is that yes, alkaline water can damage your body. When you look at the ingredient label of a bottle of water, it should just say hydrogen and oxygen, because that's what water is. But in alkaline water, there's all these different chemicals and baking soda and all these things added to it to make it alkaline. They're onto something with recognizing that the pH level of our water can play a role in how it gets absorbed into our bodies, but not like that.
There is a big difference between alkaline water and alkalized water. There are multiple products on the market today who claim to have alkaline water where they actually add something to the water in order to increase the pH. Too much alkalinity in the body can lead to alkalosis, which is really detrimental to our health. Our K8 machine adds absolutely nothing to the source water. Instead, it takes the source water through a process of electrolysis, which means it's literally charging the water, producing molecular hydrogen.
It goes through the process of electrolysis and has antioxidants. It is just so beautiful. And so there is a huge difference, and you will feel it, you will notice it when you start drinking this water. Even just the taste of tap water will probably start to repel you.
Because it is a Japanese medical grade water ionizer, it is producing therapeutic grade molecular hydrogen water, which is fully supported by all the medical and the science studies. Molecular hydrogen is one of the smallest molecules in the world. It is literally small enough to cross the blood-brain barrier, which is why there are multiple studies linking the health benefits of consuming this amazing water.
If you're into the science stuff and you want to understand this more, if you just search Enagic or Kangen water, you're going to get, of course, all kinds of different opinions, just like there is on anything out there, from different people probably wanting to sell their own things. If you want to actually understand scientifically how this water works and see proven studies that are not biased from Enagic, but actually from independent scientists researching this emerging, amazing new technology, you can go to Google Scholar or PubMed, which are both places where you can research scientific articles and see all of the sources. And you can do your own search for ERW, or electrolyzed reduced water. Electrolyzed reduced water is the exact scientific name for the water that is produced by the Kangen machine.
Now, I read a lot of the studies and tried to understand the science, but really it wasn't until I had this one experience in the jungles of Lombok that really showed me how powerful and pure Kangen water really is. I was on a walk with a friend. We were about 2 hours deep in the rice fields, and we came across what he told me was this fresh volcanic spring waterfall. He said, "This is living water." And I was like, great, I'm down, let me try this. So I filled up my water bottle as well and took a drink, and immediately my body was like, wow, this tastes and feels like Kangen. And I realized that that water didn't taste and feel like Kangen, but Kangen tasted and felt like water in its most natural, alive, and pure state. To have that close parallel, to know that yes, the water that I have attached to my kitchen tap at home is the same water that I could be getting walking 2 hours deep into the rice fields in Lombok.
I feel like I've always been really connected to the energetic realm and my own intuition and just really following that gut feeling.
I'm pretty intuitive, and I know when something is meant to be in my body and when it's not.
When I found out about these products and that it was water, like living water, that I was going to be able to promote, I was like, wow, this is so in alignment. So I really feel like I was guided toward this in such a beautiful way.
I'm not big on all the technical terms, on the science around everything. All I know is that it has absolutely changed my life for me and my family.
When you start drinking this water, your energy just starts to elevate. You will start to feel different in your body. Your cells will start to reawaken, and you just become so much more aware of yourself in the outside world.
The first time that I had Kangen water, I knew, like, all of my cells, it was this full body yes. I can't really explain it in any other way other than how right this water feels in my body, how supportive and revitalized and hydrated my body feels when I have it. There's not really an explanation, it's more of a feeling.
I can't describe the feeling, and you have to feel it. It's like you you can feel it in every cell of your body. It's amazing.
I'm currently traveling right now with my partner and his mom and her partner. They seem to be a little bit skeptical about what it is they do, how expensive it is to get started, and what these water machines are that have dragged me around with me everywhere. They were living with us for a week before we started traveling, and as soon as we got to our first Airbnb, her husband took one sip of the purified gallon jug of drinking water and said that it tasted awful. I was of course already setting up my Kangen machine, and his mom was actually so grateful that I was setting it up, because after even just a week of living with us, they already started to notice that they didn't want to go back to regular drinking water.
I have got friends that come over and refill all their jugs and stuff at my house, which I love to be able to do.
I can also say that anyone I've introduced this water to, anytime they've had a drink, they're like, why does your water taste so good? I know that to them it doesn't only taste good, but it feels good, because it is this element in its most vibrant state, the way that we are meant to have it.
It wasn't until my husband was diagnosed with MS 4 months after we met that we went on a big journey of going low tox. He couldn't walk, he couldn't see, he couldn't feel down the right side of his body, and then we would spend 6 months in rehab to then revisit that same situation year after year. We did absolutely everything, but there was one key thing missing. He has now been relapse free for 5 years, and I can honestly say that once we changed our water, it literally changed our life.
After I gave birth to my third baby, I went through a period of time where my body felt really depleted, worn out. I was so exhausted all the time, and I know that's normal after you have a baby, but this was like to the extreme when I thought that there was something actually wrong with me. When I started drinking this water, I started to gain more clarity. I started to feel more energized. I actually had motivation to go out there and live life and play with my kids, and yeah, you just start to naturally feel better because the water is getting directly into the cell. It's penetrating the cell wall. It's absorbing into your internal organs. It's passing the blood-brain barrier, so your brain is becoming hydrated. And yeah, it just brings so much more clarity and energy into your life. And I just really saw that as a huge bonus for me as a mom of 3.
I have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, and they were unwell a lot. Let's just say that. They go to daycare and they were bringing home all sorts of bugs, which meant me and my husband were also getting sick as well. So ever since we've had this for 4 months, there's been a lot of illnesses still going around at daycare, but my children have been 100% healthy the entire way through, which is mind-blowing.
So obviously drinking the water is life-changing enough on its own, but there are so many more benefits to this machine outside of just the drinking water setting.
We used to use chemicals. We then went to replacing that with organic products or things that were more eco-friendly. I then started to make my own products, but to be honest, it actually cost more money. It was cheaper to buy in bulk, but then I was left trying to store all the products. We didn't get through them all at once, so then I felt really guilty because I was throwing them away, these single-use plastics.
This one machine produces 7 different pH levels, starting at 2.5 all the way up to 11.5.
One button on the machine and I'm able to produce a kitchen spray, a shower spray, something to clean the toilet, to clean the floor, to degrease the oven, to degrease all our oily pans, to use as dishwashing liquid, to just the multiple usages. There are so many ways to use this machine.
Literally anytime I feel any sort of oncoming symptom, whether it's an ear infection or an eye infection or some sort of rash or anything going on, honestly, I always look up whether there's something that my Kangen machine can do for it. Everything from bug bites to sore throats to even insomnia.
I have a deep respect for doctors and for nurses and people who give their time and their energy to help other people. I also truly believe that we can take a lot of responsibility on ourselves for our own health, and which I believe it starts at home. Recently, I had to take my son to the hospital because he had a deep gash in his lip. The doctor at the time prescribed antibiotics, and I knew that I had an alternative. I did my research and I was confidently able to show the doctor that I found a study recent from March 2023 that is showing that hypochlorous acid is an emerging science in which they are looking into it as a safe alternative to using antibiotics. And to be able to have this within my home and apply that topically to my son was just next level.
Hospitals in Japan actually use Kangen machines to sterilize their medical equipment, which is incredible that you can produce just a different pH level of water. And the 2.5 acidic water actually smells like bleach, but it's just different water.
We literally are able to soak our fruit and vegetables, and it removes the herbicides and pesticides, and the color of the water is pretty disgusting.
You can literally replace basically all of your household cleaning supplies, from disinfectants, laundry detergent, to the 6.0 beauty water. You can use it as a facial toner.
I worked out that within 2 years, and this machine has a lifespan of 25 years, within 2 years alone, I would cover the cost of my machine and I would already be ahead. So to be honest, I am actually already making money.
You can find all these different uses online and start to save money by getting rid of all the chemicals in your home. So not only are you getting the benefits of the drinking water, but you're also removing all the toxic chemicals and removing all of the plastic waste.
Like I shared, we do live by the beach most of the time, and we're constantly finding laundry detergents and soaps and cleaning bottles and beauty products all washing up on the beach. So this machine is incredible because it can replace so much of that and help us to live even just a little bit more minimally.
It is my dream to walk into health and wellness stores, yoga studios, gyms all around the world, in my city specifically, and see these machines where they're sharing this water and getting it into people's lives and letting them experience this.
I would predict that in the next few years, Kangen machines will truly be what sets wellness centers apart from one another.
People are waking up to water and it's becoming more talked about, which is so important.
Imagine walking into a space to get a massage or a chiropractor appointment or a yoga class, and not only knowing that your body and your wellness is supported, but also what's going on the inside. You're offered a glass of the most alive, rich in antioxidant and hydrogen water that you could possibly have, either before or after a treatment, and you just know that this clinic, that this center, that this space totally supports you holistically, inside and out.
I am going to try to get it into as many health and wellness stores, as many health practitioners using this in their businesses as possible, because it's changing lives.
Anytime I've walked into a cafe or a chiropractor's office that does have this machine, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like, oh, they really care about my overall wellness, and that is so powerful.
The next amazing product that Enagic offers is the Enespa Home Spa System. Continuing the theme of mimicking what is naturally occurring in nature, the Enespa is designed to mimic a hot springs experience. It generates strong negative ions, which we get from grounding in the earth, and literally contains stones directly from a hot spring in Japan.
Your skin is your largest organ, so what you put on your skin, what you bathe in, is going to absorb right into your bloodstream. So the Enespa contains a blend of natural hot spring ingredients and minerals, so it removes all the chlorine and bacteria, remineralizes your water, and gives you that spa-like feeling, making it super safe for yourself and your kids, family to bathe in.
I used to be the type of person that would jump out of my shower. I'd have the big bottle of coconut oil ready to slather all over my body as soon as I got out, because I literally had a fear of dry skin. I think I had 2 showers, and after my second shower with the Enespa, I no longer have that desperation to moisturize my skin afterwards. My skin has never felt or looked so good.
Since using the Enespa shower, my skin has just never felt softer, and I no longer have to use any conditioner in my hair. My hair is usually very dry. I've also noticed a huge difference in my children. My daughter would always have lots of dry spots around her face as a baby. Since we've been using the Enespa combined with our pH 6 water on our K8 machine, my daughter's skin has just cleared up really beautifully.
My daughter actually came into this earth and was born in my bathtub in Bali into this incredible spa water. I deeply believe that the way that our children come into this earth absolutely matters. They come from pure amniotic fluid inside our womb. Especially living in Indonesia, the quality of our water here is so hard and full of impurities. A dream of mine is to see more Enespa water births happening all around the world.
There are endless opportunities where the Enespas could be used. Like, imagine going to a spa or a thermal treatment center and knowing that the water that's being used in the shower rooms or in the pools or to cleanse your body is some of the highest quality water that you can get. Like, knowing that your largest organ, the skin on your body, is so supported by the center. Like, that will really set wellness centers apart. When I have a retreat center one day, all of the showers, all of the treatment pools, anytime that water is used for my clients, it will be Inessful water because there's nothing like it.
Moving on to the third product that Enagic offers, which is their incredible Ukon turmeric plant medicine. Depending on where you are in the world, this amazing turmeric supplement comes in capsules, in soap, and in tea.
As someone with a chronic illness and as someone who is a practitioner, I'm going to nerd out and tell you about how much I love turmeric.
There are so many benefits to turmeric. It's an anti-inflammatory, it's good for the brain, it helps with the prevention of diseases, it neutralizes free radicals, and it increases the antioxidant capacity of the body. Like, there are so many reasons why this food is so incredible.
I have an inflammatory disease. It's called inflammatory bowel disease. More specifically, I have Crohn's disease. I've been taking turmeric since the very beginning of my diagnosis.
I'm also someone who loves to take the holistic approach to different discomforts in my body. And whenever I'm experiencing pain or inflammation, turmeric is my go-to, and having high quality turmeric on hand is life-changing.
If I am about to go for a long walk, I take a turmeric supplement, and it helps me just know that my joints are going to feel better during and after my walk.
Growing up intuitively, I just loved cooking with it. I loved adding it to different things as a spice or as the root, and I just knew that it was so supportive for my body, but I didn't know exactly why until I did my yoga teacher training in India back in 2019, and that's where I learned so much more about turmeric, and I really wanted to incorporate it as a daily practice into my life. And then coming across this company, coming across Enagic, and knowing that they have an incredibly high quality turmeric product that they also offer, it was a no-brainer.
We have always used turmeric in our life, and it's always been very difficult to try and find probably the best source of turmeric in terms of something that has been completely untouched by chemicals. To me, it was almost unheard of. It was very difficult to find until I came across these particular turmeric capsules, which I then found out have been grown in Okinawa, which is one of the blue zones in the world. So if you look it up, it links to longevity and the way that the Japanese people live their life, which is just absolutely beautiful, and really how we should be living life in such a mindful way.
It is grown in Yanbaru in Okinawa, Japan. Yanbaru, the land where it's grown, is often referred to as nature's treasure in Japanese. It is 100% organically grown, non-GMO, free of all kinds of chemicals and impurities, and only grown actually using Kangen water.
It has then wrapped in Kangen water so that when we are consuming it, we are still getting this beautiful, beautiful produce as it was intended for us.
The quality matters. You know, you can go out and buy turmeric from the drugstore, and it might be a very inexpensive brand, but that will not give you nearly the benefits of a good high quality turmeric product. If you're going to go and buy a strawberry from the grocery store in an off season, we all know the taste of that strawberry is just not nearly the same as when strawberries are in season. We're buying them locally, the quality is amazing, the flavor is so good. That comparison can be then brought back to turmeric. We do need to be buying a very high quality turmeric in order to be gaining the benefits from it. Knowing that the Ukon product from Enagic is high quality, we know that we're going to get the full range of benefits that we can from it.
A lot of us like to support local, and a lot of us like to do a little bit of research where things come from, and we like to make sure that wherever we're putting our money, we're actually giving it back. I want you to know that this is exactly the case when it comes to when you're purchasing your turmeric. Mr. Oshiro, who is the CEO of Enagic, has supported these farmers from day one. So you need to know that your money is going directly to those farmers, and they are continuing to grow this beautiful turmeric for us to be able to consume.
Enagic is in constant innovation. Mr. Oshiro, the founder, is predicting that he'll live upwards of 120 years, so he's just getting started. In his 80s, he's still innovating, he's still leading the way from the forefront, dreaming up new ways of contributing better to our planet. Enagic is actually releasing a brand new product called M-Guard, which offers incredible protection against electromagnetic radiation. Anytime Enagic creates a product, it is always the best product of that type that exists anywhere on the market. I've personally watched videos of this product being tested, and I'm just so amazed and excited to get one into my own home. And of course, Enagic would come up with the next best thing for what we're needing in this world right now. Circling back to the conversation around the molecular structure of water, this is what happens to water when it's around technology. At this point in the world, we all work with devices probably every single day. We're not necessarily escaping that, but there gets to be a solution and there needs to be a solution. I would assume that we all probably have at least a little bit of radiation poisoning happening within our system. So imagine what would happen if you're able to turn your home into a radiation-free oasis. So as you can see, Enagic is just the most incredible, innovative, devoted company, and that can be witnessed in the way that Mr. Oshiro gives back. There was a local skating rink in Okinawa, Japan that was about to be shut down because it was so old and it was the last skating rink in all of Okinawa. Mr. Oshiro knew nothing about skating rinks, didn't really care. It wasn't his area of passion or expertise or business specialty, but it was about to be demolished. So he actually bought the entire building and gave it back to the children so that they could learn to ice skate and play hockey. And he's even turned some of the building into part of his Enagic office. So he's got an Enagic office / ice rink, and he's done this time and time again for the children of Okinawa, buying schools and baseball uniforms and just giving back so much whenever he sees a way that his money can do more good for this world, including the Ukon farmers. He cares so much about making sure that Ukon is always being ordered, not just for his own financial gain, but so that the farmers continue to have jobs and are always protected after Japan has gone through so much war and collapses in their economy. He genuinely wants to sustain these jobs for these incredible, hardworking people and is always looking for new ways that he can contribute.
Enagic has really incredible products, and they stand for so much more than supporting people's physical health and wellness. They also are so committed to supporting the mental and financial health and wellness of their people as well. Enagic has a business model that supports people really abundantly to simply share these products with others. Simply by owning at least one of these products, you can abundantly supplement and support what you're already doing.
So instead of paying a marketing team, having an advertising budget for billboards and commercials and all kinds of things that we actually don't really pay attention to anymore, he decided to instead save all of that money, which is huge. Marketing budgets are often ginormous. He took all of that money and decided to give it back to the people by paying us for sharing his mission all around the world.
The fact that it's a high ticket company, so you can make thousands of dollars right away.
In just a handful of sales, I'm able to make the same or potentially more amount of money than I would generally make in a whole year in teaching yoga.
In order to honor your time, we won't go fully in depth into everything here because we will direct you to a resource where you can learn all about this as you move forward. But basically, I have been in network marketing companies where I've earned maybe $30, maybe $50 here and there when I make a sale. But what happens with Enagic's high-end products is that when you do make a sale here, you're actually able to earn thousands of dollars in just one commission, which supports us to not be constantly hustling, trying to sell to absolutely everybody in the world. Although everybody in the world could use these products, but not needing to make hundreds of sales in order to make a beautiful income that supports us to live a lifestyle of freedom.
I genuinely was very hesitant to step into this opportunity.
Was I resistant to any online marketing thing? Yes, I was 100% until I found out how this company worked and how I was actually able to market myself.
I was really concerned about seeming inauthentic, about seeming salesy. It just didn't feel like something that was suitable to my personality.
I had done a network marketing company years ago where I was DMing friends and family, contacting people, inviting people into my homes to do demonstrations, and it was exhausting, and I think I was starting to really irritate people.
After being partnered with that other company for almost 5 years and starting to lose myself in constantly posting products and trying to convince every single person out there that they needed to buy from me and they needed to join my team, I was burnt out. I was losing who I was. I didn't feel authentic anymore, and I really resisted doing something else like this because I was so scared of having people think that all I cared about was making money off of them.
I didn't want to have my Instagram following think that I was now trying to sell them something.
I had researched a lot, seen what other people were doing within the online space, and I just knew already that I didn't want to be spamming products all over my page.
That just didn't feel right to me because I had already done that in the past.
I don't want to do sales. It just doesn't feel good. I just wouldn't be any good at it anyway. I just really wanted to be me. I wanted to show up as myself, and I wanted to connect on a human level with other people, making genuine friendships.
The beauty with this company and how we get to market ourselves is through attraction marketing, putting yourself out there authentically, and people are coming to you and asking you what you have to offer, and then they have the decision to make for themselves whether it's in alignment for them or not. So there's no forcing, there's no convincing anybody here. And so when I found that out, I was all in.
I did come to realize that there are authentic ways to talk about this product. And I also came to realize that this is a product I know and love. I've been drinking this Kangen water for the last 12 years. So how could I say no to an opportunity for a product that I already know and love?
This business model just feels so different. Water is something that we all need. There is no one out there that could not benefit from this amazing water.
When I was looking for a line of work, I wanted something that would allow me the freedom to travel, to follow my heart around the world. I needed something that aligned with my personal values, that felt really in integrity.
I knew what it could do. I knew how amazing it was. So I did trust the product itself. And I also felt like this opportunity was a lot more aligned with the life that I want to live than a traditional business model was.
At the end of the day, we do need to make money in some kind of way to be able to keep our lifestyle afloat. Whether that's a simple life of living on a homestead somewhere, living in a van, we still need money for gas, we need money for food. Money is literally just an energy that we exchange for the things that we're desiring. And it's okay to want it, it's okay to open up to it. It doesn't make you wrong to desire to have money, to be able to free yourself to live in the way that you're genuinely desiring to live, which usually looks like freeing up more of your time to spend with the people you want in the places that you want. And that's what this business can provide.
Something that would be sustainable, something that would set myself and my family up for our future.
I didn't want to be in a position where I would be teaching yoga out of desperation simply for money.
So many of us practitioners are sensitive, empathetic souls, and that's such a beautiful, wonderful thing. It can be really hard working one-on-one with a full day of clients because that is really draining to our souls, and we do need to find ways to recharge. I often found after a full day of clinic that the next day I couldn't work with clients again and give them my best. And it is an exchange of time for money.
No matter how good your heart is and how much you want to help people, you also have to be able to fill your own cup and your family's cup and be able to take care of your needs in order to be able to pour into others from a place of pure love and devotion, not desperation and hustle that takes away from the heart that's in the service that you give.
With this opportunity, it's really great because as you build your team, it will help you have more passive income, and it doesn't require the energy that passive income as a practitioner would take, such as creating a course yourself, selling the course yourself, dealing with enrollments, getting everybody signed up, answering questions. It's a lot of our time and energy doing course creation. So having something like this does help give us our time and energy back and give our best to our clients.
I now get to hold space for my team on our beautiful mindset calls because that's such a big passion of mine. I've gotten to host free women's circles on the island I lived on because I didn't need to rely on something like that for an income when Enagic was actually filling my cup to be able to overflow to others in ways that felt good for me.
This has freed me up to teach yoga because I absolutely love it. I am not attached to how much I am making with my income because I have this high ticket wellness company that provides for me and my family.
I looked at so many different things and never really found something that was quite right until I found this. The company, the products, everything they stand for, the support that they give to their people, it's unmatched. And not only that, but I knew that I was supported to create a true legacy for my future and my family.
One of our dreams is actually to have some sort of eco-sanctuary village community kind of thing at some point. Enagic has actually supported us to be able to purchase property for this dream to unfold in its divine timing. I can make up to $8,000 in one sale, and that pays for an entire bungalow to be built on our land. And when I shared this with a mama who was coming into my business, instead of feeling weird that I was earning commission through her getting started, she thought it was so cool and asked if she could come and stay in that bungalow one day.
Having something that complements what you're already doing or wanting to do, having a stream of income that aligns with your values and your purpose, and knowing that you get to support your people a little bit extra in the most incredible way is so valuable. Like, I know as a yoga instructor, if I had my own studio, I would be offering this water to people. I would help them get it into their homes if that's what they want, because I know the value of realizing true wellness in all aspects of our lives, and I wouldn't want anyone to not have this in their lives.
I've been so burnt out living this matrix of life of having 2 kids, a house, a 9-to-5 type of job, and life just isn't making sense. My husband and I are so burnt out and tired, and we needed something different.
I was at a point where I wasn't earning enough with my yoga teaching, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go back to supporting a business or an industry that I just didn't wholeheartedly believe in.
I kind of thought at one point that I might just bartend for the rest of my life because at least the tips were good, and I didn't go to university, but at the end of the day, I knew when I became a mother at some point, I wanted to be able to have her on me, and I probably couldn't do that behind a bar, at least not in Canada.
I knew I had to stay within health and wellness, but it left a really really big question mark of, well, what is it that I can do that's going to earn more money, but it still has that feel good factor of me giving back.
This opportunity was so different that I needed to trust my gut and follow my intuition and know that in order for things to change, we need to try something different.
Something that you'll actually learn about a little bit more when you choose to take a deeper look into this company and these products is their legacy compensation plan. I have never seen anything like this before, and I've looked at a lot of different things.
The more I share my authentic journey, the more money I make, the more lives are transformed around the world, and I'm building a legacy for my children for generations to come.
I knew that this company wanted to support its people. I knew that they were here to stay. And I knew that someone like me, someone like you, anyone really who was truly committed and felt aligned with this would be able to create something really incredible for themselves and the people around them.
We have an educational platform that is also the automation in our business. So it comes along with a digital business specialist who closes out our sales for us.
Automation, which you will learn about. So there's actually sales advisors in the background who do your calls and your paperwork for you, which busy mom over here, I loved that. I don't have to do all the sales calls.
So once I heard this bit, I just thought, oh my goodness. So I actually just get to be me, show up as me, get creative, share my content, and just connect with people.
I don't have to file paperwork and send it off. There's people in the background who do it for you.
I've only been with the business 4 months, but the first month I went through a big roller coaster of emotions, and I actually, at one point, Charlotte, my mentor, I actually thought she scammed me. I just went through all of these doubts. Like, it was my ego trying to keep me safe, but it was a little too late because I'd already invested all this money. That feeling quickly disappeared when I started making sales. Sales to me weren't just sales. I was connecting with my soul tribe that I'd never met before. From other parts of the world, I'm just blown away with the connections that we've made. We've actually become really close, like soul sisters. I've also been reconnecting with old friends, like good friends that, like, again, soul sisters, the ones that get this whole business. You are going to connect with your type of people, the people that take these risks, the people that believe in health and wellness and the importance of drinking good water.
One thing that I'm still really learning, but I think is so interesting and inspiring, is how the language of wealth is the language of water. Think of these words that I'm going to say and how we use them when we speak about money and wealth, but how we can relate it back to water. Cash flow, income stream. Riverbanks control the currency, while banks control the currency. Making it rain is another term we use. Money pouring in. We don't say money was falling in or toppling in, we say pouring in. You might say dissolve a business or find a solution, and a solution is something mixed in water. A business goes insolvent when it can't pay its debts. We also say things like a floating balance, liquidate a company. Like, these things cannot be a coincidence. You might also say business is drying up, business is flowing in. Like, can you see these correlations? So with saying all this, we can really see how wealth is water and water is wealth. But when we think of wealth, we think of metal, we think of digits on a screen. And so we've really lost that ability to know how much we are connected to it, but we've resisted it because we have such a different view of how we think of money. What if water was the solution to wealth all along? I feel like at our roots, we are all so deeply connected to water. And I truly feel like it's time to come back to our roots, come back to our natural states, back to origin. We all deserve to be provided for, and we all deserve to be wealthy in so many areas of our lives. If water is the solution to wealth, and it has been all along, wouldn't you be so happy and grateful to discover it now and change your story now.
Too many of us are playing it way too small and passing down this story of scarcity and lack. A lot of our beliefs about money come from childhood. We end up growing up thinking that wealth is greedy, money doesn't grow on trees, we can't afford that, and we start passing on those beliefs to our own children if we don't do something to disrupt the cycle.
I think for some of us in the healing and wellness world, money can feel like such an icky thing, like such a dirty word, and it really was for me until I really learned to just switch up my mindset. Just for a moment, imagine what money in the hands of a conscious woman could do to change this world. And collectively, that is what we're doing. We can change this world. We can make this place a better place for our children. We can break those generational cycles, but we have to work together.
As you can tell, we could probably turn this into a 5-hour training on money mindset and inner child healing and taking leaps of faith, following your intuition. But to honor your time, we're actually going to redirect you to the best place that you can possibly continue this conversation, deepen your understanding of the company and the products, continue to get a feel for if it's for you, take that leap into starting your journey, and be able to go through all this beautiful information in your own time, in your own way, to really keep taking those next baby steps towards the life that you're wanting to live.
We have partnered with an education platform called the Freedom Arrow, which is a beautiful next step to learn more about the water and the business and how this can really work for you. There's so much information in there. You'll be able to talk to someone one-on-one to learn more about the water, how to finance this for yourself, and really discern if this is your next right step. You'll be supported with all kinds of teachings and trainings.
Money mindset training, inner child healing, marketing, sales, like truly, like there's so much packed into this one academy where you're gonna find so much value.
The Freedom Arrow has such a beautiful focus on mindset. It's full of all kinds of value on healing and authentic branding, attraction marketing, being yourself.
This business is 80% mindset, if not more, and about 20% strategy. So you don't really even have to know what you're doing, but if you can work on your mindset and getting it in the right place, you can truly thrive in this business. I can't believe where I was 6 months ago and where my mindset was, and now to where I'm at today.
I have paid thousands of dollars to access courses similar to this one with nowhere near the amount of value and information that this academy includes. And it's accessible for only $99 US per month. So at any given point while watching this, reach out to the person who invited you here and ask for the link to the academy. It has a 14-day money-back guarantee, which gives you ample time to be able to go through the amazing discovery process and have a discovery advisor call with a specialist who can help support you in looking at your different options for getting started, even if you don't feel like there's a way that you could. It's amazing to get to have that chat with a specialist who can encourage you and support you in making a decision that feels in alignment for you.
So if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, I don't know, there could be something in here for me, I would say lean into those little nudges of curiosity, because I cannot stress enough. It took me 5 years to find this opportunity, and it is the only thing out there that has literally ticked all of the boxes for me. There is nothing else that compares.
If you are coming in here and you are desiring change in your life, you just know that there is something more out there for you. Maybe you are still a little scared, a little hesitant, you're unsure, because change can be really scary and daunting, and I 100% get it, because I was scared too.
Our ego is a part of our brain that likes to understand the 86-step plan of what's going to happen when we say yes to a decision, but our intuition can actually only know that one next little right baby step, and you don't have to have it all figured out. So just do the next right thing.
I am so grateful that I said yes to this opportunity. I said yes to myself.
I didn't need to go back to the corporate world in order to earn money. I could stay in my truth, I can live my purpose and earn a conscious income that just fulfills me so much, knowing that I am helping other people along the same journey that I have traveled as well.
After my first few calls with our team, I felt so uplifted, and I felt like I was surrounded by people who brought out the best in me. And it was just such a nice feeling after coming into this space, feeling burnout from past work experiences where it just didn't feel like this. This feels just like a beautiful, wonderful fit, and everyone is so welcoming.
This community is so supportive. You're gonna be so loved.
It feels like you're joining a family. So if you're considering this, just know that as someone new to the space, I felt very welcome, and we would all love to welcome you to the space as well.
Last little special offer is that for a limited time only, the Academy is actually accessible for first timers for only $49 US, which is actually 50% off. And again, has that 14-day money back guarantee. So wherever you're at, whether you're interested more in the water, the business, or a little bit of a mix of both, you're gonna uncover more about all of it inside the Academy. And it really gives you an opportunity to, again, get that feel for it and still know that you get to make a choice that feels good to you.
If you are feeling nervous, chat with someone about it, but I really, really encourage you to take the next step because you are going to transform one way or another.
I came into this business because I was searching for something more: community, support, love, purpose, passion, and something significantly different to the way that I was living my life. Things really needed to change. And I got all of those things and more.
I never expected to invest into water machines, of all things, but I would genuinely never give them up.
2 months before my 40th birthday, I started experiencing some severe health issues.
I had no idea how I was ever supposed to take in the amount of water that people were telling me to take in because I couldn't stand the taste of water.
You can always taste the minerals and taste like all the different things in the tap water here.
After detoxing by just drinking the water, my husband had actually tried to have pop when we went out for dinner once, and it actually made him feel sick.
It curbs my cravings for anything sugary.
I no longer have stomach issues where I have anxiety because everywhere I go I need to know where the washroom is.
I feel really hydrated every time I drink the water, and I don't feel bloated at all.
Your body really starts to feel like revived and awakened, and that's something that like I never really noticed before.
I feel like I have life in me. I don't even know how to describe it.
It's finally here and I'm so excited. I cannot speak about my experience yet, but I'm so hyped.
I'm so excited. I get to try it for the first time. Cheers! Wow, it tastes so different. It's so smooth. You can really taste the difference. Yeah, massively.
The first time I tried Kangen water, I was hooked. That was it. I couldn't drink anything else.
I have already people lined up, friends around me that really want to try it as well.
So many people in my family right now going through chemo or have previously been through chemo. I've watched them go from being so uncomfortable, not even being able to sit, being in pain when they're just simply walking, to now being able to sit down, being able to walk around and actually enjoy their life. It's the biggest blessing and the biggest gift I could have ever asked for.
My body is thriving with this water.
I feel more hydrated than I've ever felt before. I can't drink anything else now.
Right now I'm fasting for Ramadan and it's been about 10 hours since I last drank, and I really swear that I am not thirsty. Usually if I'm fasting and I don't drink Kangen water, I'm gasping for water within a few hours, but right now I feel so hydrated. I feel healthy and energized.
I'm a mom of two beautiful little girls whose health means the absolute world to me. So when I made this decision to have these products in my home, I knew that their health was going to be so positively impacted.
I've also used the K8 machine to clean my entire home, as it has over 68 uses.
With the K8 machine, it produces all different levels of pH. 11.5 for cleaning all the sticks and everything that we get from nature for him to play with, taking off all the pesticides from his organic fruit and veggies. And the 2.5 also for cleaning his cage, cleaning his bowls, cleaning everything.
It's replaced all my toxic, harmful household cleaners.
We also have a very big dog that is always in the house, and to be able to clean and sanitize our floors using the 2.5, not have that toxic chemicals on her feet and on us.
I also use the Anespa to groom dogs. I have great reviews, and I find that dogs who come with skin conditions have great feedback about it making a difference on their skin.
For my senior dog who had interdigital cysts, I started soaking her feet in the Enagic water. She also drinks the Enagic water, and she gets an Ukon turmeric capsule in her food every day, and her cysts are almost all gone. She walks beautifully now, and she's not in any pain.
I was actually able to have the Anespa in my home for my water birth, which was so important to me, knowing that my baby's skin was going to be protected from absorbing all those harmful chemicals.
It's literally the only water that my kids bath in.
I had all sorts of problems with my water before I had the Anespa. Psoriasis, I have eczema, I have all sorts of skin issues, and this has actually really helped. Once you go from using it back to what you used to use, you really notice.
I used to have dry patches and irritated skin. Now my skin is healthy, it's glowing, and it's moisturized.
My eczema has completely cleared up.
I've always struggled with frizz because I'm not one that spends hours and hours fixing my hair. I usually take a shower, condition it, and then I'm gone.
With textured hair, it's hard for me to find products that actually work for my hair, let alone water that does not dry it out.
Ever since I got the Anespa, I realized that the frizz has gone down. My curls are much more defined. Like, people tell me over the time, like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your hair? And the only thing I've done differently is take a shower with the Anespa.
I also drank Ukon tea consistently through this winter season, and I believe the combination of the Kangen water and the Ukon tea definitely kept my immune system strong.
This is my first time actually trying the tea. My nose is stuffy. I don't know if you can kind of hear it in my voice. My throat is scratchy. I took a sip of this today and instantly I could feel like my airways were opening up. I can breathe better now. My throat isn't as sore. This is incredible.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for learning and listening. And I just want you to take a moment to thank yourself and honor yourself for being here, to maybe being exposed to something that you've never heard of before. I know when I first gained a lot of this information, it felt like a lot. Like, it was definitely overwhelming. And at the same time, I knew intuitively that this was meant for me, that this felt so aligned, that this was my next right step.
I was freaking out when I first found out about this, and I actually pulled out my credit card at like 3 in the morning to get started and start diving into all the courses, pulled an all-nighter because I was just so deeply excited, but also very nervous because it was brand new, and it's natural that when we're going through a big change, there's a lot of resistance that can come along with that. So just reminding yourself that it is safe to desire more out of your life. It's safe to maybe do something that wasn't what you were expecting, and just reminding your body to breathe through the waves. Feel that fear, but also recognize that you get to take the leap anyway, even if you don't feel 100% ready.
And so I invite you to really tune in and tap into your heart, your soul, your gut, and really lean into whatever you're feeling. Maybe it's a little bit of fear, maybe it's a little bit of uncertainty, maybe it's full trust that this is your next right step. I invite you to lean into that and to trust that, and know that whenever you do make a decision, you are so blissfully supported by us on the other side. So thank you for coming. Thank you for being here.
Your next steps would be to join the Freedom Era, which is the academy where you will pay $49. You will get to go in and go through your discovery process, which that alone was life-changing for me. I actually didn't even need my advisor call really after, because I was so in after the discovery process. But you'll go through that. It'll take you about 90 minutes, and then you'll have your call with an advisor who can go through any questions you have.
You know your truth by the way it feels. You know what's right for you, what's right for your circle, what's right for your people by the way it feels. And if that's for you, you'll know. And we would be so grateful to see you on the other side.
Thank you for tuning in with us. Hope you have the most beautiful day or night wherever you are in the world, and reach out to the person who invited you here for support with your next steps. Lots of love. Let us know what you've learned in the comments below. We're so excited to celebrate you.